A long and illustrious history. 4.
Question 1. Name the first wife of Henry VIII, who had 6 wives altogether.
Anne Boleyn, Catherine of Aragon, Catherine Howard, Anne of Cleves.
Answer.
Catherine of Aragon.
Question 2. What was the name of the jet that developed in the UK and is capable of taking off and landing vertically? That was
The Harrier, the Kestrel, the Bluebird, the Eagle.
Answer.
The Harrier.
Question 3. In the English language, the words cow, apple and summer are descendant of Anglo-Saxon words.
True. False.
Answer.
True.
Question 4. What was the reason for uncertainty over the succession to the throne during the reign of Queen Anne?
She wanted the return of a Catholic monarch. She had no surviving children. Scotland wanted to choose its own king. None of the above.
Answer.
She had no surviving children.
Question 5. With which king did the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms in England unite with, king to defeat the Vikings?
King Ethelred the Unready, King Alfred the Great, King Edgar I, King Canute.
Answer.
King Alfred the Great.
Question 6. National culture and identity's emergence resulted in which age?
The Bronze Age, the Tudor period, the Middle Ages, the Victorian period.
Answer.
The Middle Ages.
Question 7. Indicate the incorrect statements.
Increasing German losses, coupled with American support, meant that soon the Allies were able to attack Normandy, in an operation often known as D-Day. D-Day was an Allied operation that attacked German forces in France by advancing through Spain.
Answer.
D-Day was an Allied operation that attacked German forces in France by advancing through Spain.
Question 8. What was the reason for more castles to be built in the period of the Middle Ages in Britain and Ireland?
They were cheap to build. They were defensive strongholds. They created work for tradesmen. They were status symbols for the nobility.
Answer.
They were defensive strongholds.
Question 9. A radio telescope built on the Gog-Magog Hills in Cambridgeshire was for many years remained the biggest in the world and continues to operate today. True or false?
True. False.
Answer.
False.
Question 10. Mary, James's eldest daughter, was married to _
The Duke of York. She never married. Her cousin, William of Orange. The French Dauphin.
Answer.
Her cousin, William of Orange.
Question 11. In 1688, Protestant leaders in England asked William of Orange to invade England and proclaim himself as the king.
True. False.
Answer.
True.
Question 12. What was name of the South American country that invaded the Falkland Islands in 1982, and this led to Britain dispatching a task force to retake the territory?
Chile. Peru. Argentina. Bolivia.
Answer.
Argentina.
Question 13. In the Middle Ages, what type of stories are depicted in the stained glass windows of many cathedrals?
Stories about communities and farming. Stories about battles and victories. Stories about kings and coronations. Stories about the Bible and saints.
Answer.
Stories about the Bible and saints.
Question 14. Under the system of feudalism, the kings offered land to the in exchange of which the landowners had to send men to serve in the army in return. True or false?
True. False.
Answer.
True.
Question 15. In which year did Charles II died?
1705. 1695. 1685. 1650.
Answer.
1685.
Question 16. Was it true that Henry VIII continued his father's work to centralize the administrative powers of England?
True. False.
Answer.
True.
Question 17. What was the function of the carding machine that was improved by Richard Arkwright?
Prepare yarn and fabric to be turned into thread. Prepare fibers to be spun into yarn and fabric. Print cards and paper. Produce steel for manufacturing.
Answer.
Prepare fibers to be spun into yarn and fabric.
Question 18. What does it mean by enlightenment?
The invention of electric light in the home. A painting by Leonardo da Vinci. New ideas about politics, economics and science. The freedom of the press.
Answer.
New ideas about politics, economics and science.
Question 19. William of Orange was a Protestant ruler of _
Portugal. Spain. The Netherlands. France.
Answer.
The Netherlands.
Question 20. Was it true or false? The Saxon king Harold was defeated by William, Duke of Normandy, at the Battle of Hastings.
True. False.
Answer.
True.
Question 21. What was the machine Sir Christopher Cockerell developed in late 1950s and became famous for _?
The hovercraft. The glider. The submarine. The robot.
Answer.
The hovercraft.
Question 22. What right to woman was awarded in 1870 and 1882 according to the Acts of the Parliament?
The right to bear arms. The right to attend university. The right to keep their own earnings and property after marriage. The right to work.
Answer.
The right to keep their own earnings and property after marriage.
Question 23. Fill in the blank with the apartment word. During the Second World War there had been significant changes to the underscore system and people wanted more social changes when the war came to an end.
Health. Voting. Transport. Education.
Answer.
Education.
Question 24. Catholics feared the growing power of the Puritans, due to which a rebellion was formed in Ireland during the reign of Charles I.
True. False.
Answer.
True.
Thank you for watching the video and wish you will get your driver license soon.